Welcome back. You're listening to Rhythm FM, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. I am your friend, Vernon Derby. Yes, this is the People's Program, Spot On. And coming up right now is Talk Your Talk. And this morning, before I start off, I must tell you this one. It says, the heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight. But they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards in the night. Many of us look and we see persons do some things and we wonder. We say they are crazy, they are mad. But a gentleman who has a point to make, many of us wouldn't do it. We say we're not mad enough to do it. But then somebody else might say we're not coward enough. So we're too coward to do it. Well, he took his protest to a very high level. When he went on top the Transportation Center building in Kingston, Jamaica, and with his Jamaican flag, the nation was held at attention for I think about 4 to 5 hours, and his point was made. Many just scoffed at the idea. Oh, madman. Even the psychiatrist and others who went up to assist, there were persons who commented that they only did so because of looking attention. But then, yours truly personally, I'm quite used to that, don't worry. We tend to tear down people, but guess what? When you tear down others, it also shows something about yourself. All right, this morning, let's welcome Sergeant Lee Bennett, a fireman who has some concerns, and he has no doubt made a strong point, and you never can tell. He might have a strong case. Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Derby. It is Leo Bennett.
Oh, what did I say?
Lee.
I left off the O. Leo Bennett. Okay, listeners, that ought to tell you something about him. All right? Me talk about Lee Bennett, he makes sure to correct me. It is Leo Bennett. Good, so you have learned something already. Now, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you coming from? The schools you went to?
All right, I am otherwise known as Kunta in the community which I grew up.
Yes, it's an African name.
So I would have gotten that name from the movie Roots.
Yes.
Kunta Kinte.
Who's the fighter?
Definitely.
Uh-huh.
So I grew up in the community of Moreland. Big up Moreland. To your listeners, you have many listeners there, Mr. Derby.
Thank you very much.
Out to me this morning to say that we hear that you are coming on Rhythm FM. We have a big fan base in Moreland. Moreland is in Northeast St. Catherine in the community of Geisel. Yes. So they are listening to Maxine, my cousin,
yes.
Uncle Clive, to the farmers. We are predominantly a farming community.
Mm-hmm.
So that is where I grew up. Agriculture is the main economic activity there. And I heard you touch on the bad road condition, Mr. Derby.
Yeah.
Continue the fight. Don't give up. Geisel and especially Moreland have some of the worst road network. The farmers, they are suffering, Mr. Derby.
And by the way, I want to talk to you about, because I'll be in touch with you because I want to hear more from them because the people have a voice with this program. And they better learn that the same way the Prime Minister or the Minister of Finance can come and talk, they can also come and talk. But tell me some more about the other schools you have attended.
Well, from kindergarten, I attended Clifford Basic School,
right.
Your success, Miss Mel. Then the Mount Nebo Primary, on to Geisel High School. Then I had other vocational training
yes.
at Archers NTA, Ebony Park, where I did agriculture, crops and soil, animal husbandry. I also attended Rockford Art Academy, where I did some construction courses.
Yes.
Up to the tertiary level, I am a UWI student. Yes, I read for a first degree in management studies.
Mm-hmm. And you completed that degree?
Yes, I did. Since 2012.
So, I thought you was a dunderhead, no qualification, and you just a troublemaker. I see. What a thing.
No, definitely not.
Now, tell me now, let's move straight now into some of the concerns that you have, because guess what? The only time we think of firemen, is when there's a fire And if they don't come within a second, we cuss them off and say, oh, then later and them cause the building for burn down. And them like the fire, and sometimes we cause the fire. But as far as we concerned, the fireman them fault. Tell me about some of the challenges that firemen are having. Because I think...
Well, the point you raised in terms of the public not knowing the interactions when you call and cuss them off. Sadly, it's because of lack of public education.
Yes.
So that's one of the big challenge where the brigade and firefighters are concerned.
Yes.
Understand? So public education is very important, not only for the fire brigade, but also for the nation.
Absolutely
because
correct.
the problems facing the Jamaica Fire Brigade and firefighters, there are many. Mm-hmm. Yes, we are a service, a first responding agency who deals with the safety needs of the public, I mean everybody. So you just imagine how far, how wide, or how broad that scope of duty is.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, most persons would think it's just fire. But if someone is trapped in a wall, or someone is trapped atop a building, or if there's a motor vehicle accident, the whole prevention and public education is part of our role and our mandate.
Oh, talking about, we are quite aware of the accident thing. You know, we have quite a number of accidents. And I hear you have a instrument there. What do you call it? What do you call it? Jaws? Well, you have to use some time to get persons out of those mangled vehicles. What do you call it? No, you have something that you cut up the vehicle and get people out. What do you call it?
You mean like the equipment we use?
Yes, there's equipment that you use to get persons out.
Well, the public popular know it as a jaws alive, but it is really a hydraulic pump.
Okay.
Yes, which could consist of cutter spreaders. Mm-hmm. Jaws alive now is really a brand name.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So in terms of to extract the victims,
yes,
from the mangled wreck. And I think over the last 2 years, Jamaica has seen a record number of road fatalities and accidents. It is one of the things which would have prompted the change in the Road Traffic Act, among other things.
Right.
I have done hundreds of accident scenes, some of them too gruesome to mention.
To mention, I know. But let me just go, let me, because time is limited, and of course, I would like to have you again. But I want you to identify, because, you know, as a broadcaster, while some persons will be just interested in just what happened and the excitement, I am more interested in the message and what you're trying to get out there. And not even too keen about the message at this point. So let us know some of the concerns that firemen are having at this time, and that you have showed such strong concerns for.
Exactly so, Mr. Derby. The main challenge is welfare.
Right.
It should include our safety, the safety of our families. The WHO, the World Health Organization, has designated firefighting as a cancer cause and a carcinogenic profession. We are more susceptible to getting certain type of cancers than the ordinary person. The problem we are having is twofold mainly. One is the underfunding of the brigade. And two is the lack of the will of the management to adapt to the changing environment in which we have. So they are static by function. Yes? Let me give people will learn better by example.
Yes.
Let us say we go to a fire scene. Yes? Whether it be to the dumps, I have mentioned it quite regularly, or even to a house fire, a building fire.
Right.
Some of these older buildings, they have asbestos materials as part of the construction, part of the whole makeup of the building.
Even your fire station there at Port Royal, I think they have removed it though, was made of asbestos.
That is so. But there's a number of buildings still in Jamaica, especially in Kingston, where asbestos roofing still exists.
But I would ask,
piping.
are you aware of any decision being made to give time to these persons to remove that material, because it must pose a challenge to those who work in it? And let me tell you, my understanding, I'm not a doctor, but my understanding is that if you inhale asbestos, it goes into your lungs and it can create damage.
I doubt there is any such movement. You understand? But, Mr. Derby, the first protest I did,
Yes.
we went through a period, Jamaica that is, because our concern as firefighter who serve the public, it is intertwined with the challenges that the society as a whole have. So
Right.
we went through a period in which we had garbage pile-ups right across, especially the city. I can speak definitely for the city. So residents have resorted to burning most of that waste. Yeah?
You're right.
We went through a period when we had more rubbish fires than probably any other time in our history. When you go onto these, let us say now, illegal dump sites, such as in Kintyre, New Haven, yes, or even a skip fire, there are various carcinogenic or toxic fumes which being emitted. When that gets onto your 1 year, the system, the government, the management gives each firefighter one turnout year. Understand? And there is no facility at most of the stations. At the time when I went out on the first protest, only one fire station of the 7 in KSA had a washing machine.
Oh? So hold on, them kind of big stuff on the wear, it look like it we a ton. So how you wash them and clean them?
We have to take it home and pop it into the same machine in which your toddler's clothes is being worn, is being washed.
No man, you tell lie man. No, it's a lie you tell.
In which your wife's clothes is being washed. So you're carrying home the
And if I was your wife or a divorce, you run you out of the house? Really? No man.
The system is mad. But they try to make it look that I am the mad one.
Let me tell you something. Hold on. Before you go further, let me tell you something. If the society, I don't know you personally, but from what you did, I started to come to certain conclusions, which is different from the society. Your response a while ago tells me that you have a very astute mind, and also that you have certain skills, political skills also, that your speech and the way you think is different. If I live long enough, it will be interesting to see that the road that you are going to follow. Continue, my friend.
Yes, sir. We went through also that period when I first went out, one of the worst pandemic in recent history. When the DMRA was ended as well, when that period we also had monkeypox emerging.
Right.
Coupled that with the high number of accidents we had to attend to. When you attend to an accident scene, you can't be standoff or squeamish.
Yes.
Whether it's the person's feces or, you can't consider about that, whether it's the blood or the brain, you have to get people out. When all of that...
You must be what you said? Squeamish?
You can't be squeamish.
Well,
all right, for the word.
Well, hold on. When me see you come off that the building there, that the thin strip of metal, whom, trust me, me start to shake. So good for you, master. Go and talk.
But as you mentioned, still, we don't even want to mention, because I'm just one member of the society.
Right.
With the message is that, and if you notice, we go out there with the flag. The concern of the nation, the national concern, and even the concern of the organization, the members who serve, it is more important than the one Sergeant Bennett.
Yes.
Understand? That is why I put aside what they can do to me as an individual. Whether demotion, whether they fire me, whether even if they want to kill me. You understand?
Yes.
What I'm saying is that the safety concerns we face, they are real. When you go out there and pull out people and cut out people out of wreckage, You understand? When you finish that and the blood and the feces and other body fluids get on that one piece of gear, and then you must return tomorrow and the next day and the next day. It is terrible. The work schedule is the next issue, Mr. Derby. We don't get what most employers consider there. We are the only workers probably in the world who must be at the place of work every day. So the whole psychology and the burnout, when we burn out, can we offer Jamaica the best service we can? I don't think so.
Well, I'm going to be terrible, you know. You must have a really good wife, because your wife, what is your wife dealing with a burnt out man or burnt out fireman? So hold on, so you're telling me you work 7 days a week? No man, you sure?
7 days a week. 7 days a week. Some are saying that, oh, this is what you signed up for. This is the way you came and saw it. But the times have changed.
But hold on.
They cannot be changing around us, and we remain static.
So hold on now. So, all right, since slavery and everything that we into us, so we should have allowed slavery to continue. I hope that's not the same reasoning.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. My God. I hear so.
With the 1 year, with the no washing facility at the fire stations,
yes,
there is little and no time given to us. So it affects our family. There's no work-life balance. Where a man can regularly go PTA, you know, we are a male-dominated.
Right.
Yes, so it is predominantly male. But it affects all of us. Yes. It affects the women who serve as well.
Right. But I tell you what, I'm going to get into the details, but you have given me sufficient information, and the nation has gotten sufficient information. My advice to the minister, the fire brigade, even though you think Leon Bennett has broken certain rules, and the first thing we tend to do is to say we are protecting the organization, and now he is on radio. Well, the same way Marcus Garvey and others used to speak out. I know some of you have to probably make some decisions, but Mr. Minister, the government of Jamaica, if you can ascertain that this brother here, Leo Bennett, are no fool, I would suggest to you that no dash him away. You might say remove him from the fire service, but talking to him and learning about him, he's no fool. Now, I'm going to spend some time, because I'm going to call you again, and I really find you a very interesting personality. Another interesting personality I've met recently is the Lasonia Harrison, the president of the JTA. And when persons don't understand how individuals function, they tear them down. But tell me now we're going to have some fun now. I hope you don't mind. You see, now, after I get that part now that I can have fun, I find many of us in the media, we're only excited about the news on excitement. And the nation has not heard about the real concerns. But back to this.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Derby. Mm-hmm. When I came down off that building,
yes,
I gave to the nation a list of inadequacy of the fire service and safety. Chief among them was the hydrant along the Constant Spring Road, the hydrant along Ugly Park Road. Those two thoroughfares, they were completed about 3 years ago.
Yes.
The Jamaica Fire Brigade doesn't have any way of connecting to none of the hydrants along that commercial area we know as Ugly Park Road.
All right, so let me ask you though.
Mr. Derby, the commissioner's office is located on Ugly Park Road.
I'm quite aware of that. So guess what now? We get to that.
Mr. Derby, the minister's office, the Minister of Local Government office is along that road.
And I'm going to say a lie, I tell. Me not believe you. What? On the same road?
Since the Chinese, they put in some hydrants in which what we work with.
Yes. I have to leave you now. I have to leave, but I have to just say to you now, how you felt? I saw you coming down that place, which was looked like about half inch to me. Literally walking, doing a balancing act, and I wondered to myself, how did you do it? How did you feel up there for someone? It's about 5 hours without any water. How did you feel? How did you manage it?
It came back from where we started from. Growing up in Moreland, we had what you'd call a rustic lifestyle.
Yes.
We had to hunt our food, literally hunt our food as people.
Yes.
So it gave me that edge in climbing coconut trees. I was also a member of the Jamaica Defense Force.
Right.
Yes. And I would say that form part of, along with my fire brigade training as a firefighter,
yes.
I would say that form, it gives me what I call now the competitive advantage in doing what I did then.
All right, I'm going to have to leave it now. But what?
I'm in a really afraid.
Right.
And
I have to go now.
I can work in extreme heat.
Yes. But I have to go now. But I want to say to my listeners and to those who lead us, just remember that those who have led us in the past, whether it be Buster Manty and all those persons, they were just as revolutionary and tough. In this country today, we don't have that kind of a person. You can become prime minister by just having your master's and your doctorate. And probably the time has come when we need to look for people with the grit, with the stamina, the fight, the will to fight, to move up and lead us. Because of the crime that we're having in this country, no, somebody can't deal with it. You can imagine all this man being the Minister of National Security. I can just imagine. So I would say to my people, to the leaders, don't dismiss him. Do not. I know you might be compromising certain standards to have him, and I hope that he gets back into the fire service, because this kind of character, the body climb, but the bill and behave some functions or come back, that man has his stamina. That man will go to any fire and take out anybody. Take me. Remember I tell you, we did use Mr. Morgan there, who was, Ficonton Governor General, right, at Jamaica. He's not a criminal. Do not abandon him. He has a role to play. He's gifted. He's talented. He has the grit. He has the stamina. I feel it. Thank you very much.
Mr. Derby,
yes.
As a social advocate.
Yes.
As a person who is champion for the cause of Jamaica.
Yes.
I am asking you to be an advocate where we have an inquiry into the matters concerning the Jamaica Fire Brigade. And this issue where I had to go out and protest, I want to say it public. Don't just have the case and even if you give me back my job and even give me promotion. That will not help Jamaica.
Yes.
As much as if we...
I have to go now though. Yes. I heard that you've made that point and I'm going to push you for that
too.
too.
If you go out without a shirt, we need the naked truth. Jamaica deserves that.
Yes. I have to thank you very much. You have a wonderful day, sir. Take care. Sergeant Leah Bennett. It was great talking with him. Fireman. All right. You're listening to Rhythm FM, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica.